Hello, Jeffrey here again. I'm gonna go back to motorcycles again. I'm gonna do a series of videos of rebuilding my 1946 Harley Knucklehead engine. It won't be a complete rebuild, it's the bottom end, I'll explain. This 1946 Knucklehead is my first motorcycle. I've owned it since 1974. And it's been through a lot. I bought it with a broken rear cylinder. I've dropped 2 valves in it already. The front cylinder head has been cracked, and I rewelded that, and I'll explain it all and the modifications made to it as I put it back together. But the latest thing that happened was about 5 years ago. I was running it really hard on the interstate, and I'm talking hard, keeping up with traffic at about 85, and it just has a 21 tooth motor sprocket, so it was really spinning. I mean, I've run it hard through its life many times, but I'm not sure what happened or why it happened, because the cylinders, the pistons didn't score, and the cylinders and pistons are fine, but the rods seized on the crank pin, and mains were seizing in the crankcase. So and it's, some of you people have a coronary when you see the bottom end, because they took it apart 5 years ago, or started to, and then, as some of you older people know, life takes different turns and you don't always get back to things. So where it was stored, it was damp, so there's a lot of corrosion on it, but it'll all clean up again and I'll get it running again. So I'll show you the progress as I go, taking the bottom end apart from where I left off. So here you can see everything is quite corroded. I'm actually, like I say, some of you people have a coronary that it got in this condition. I'm not happy with it myself, but as you can see, the piston skirts didn't get scored. Those pistons will clean up, and I know most people say put everything new in it, but I'll reuse them because the cylinders are fine too. But you can see the rods, the crank tries to move a little, but it's tight in the crankcases, and it was that way before it corroded. It was that way before it corroded up, immediately after I took it apart. And you can see the rods are also tight on the crank. So I'm going to start to clean it up and take it apart. First thing I can do is, I'm just looking to see if I had the pistons marked. That's yeah, I have them marked. F for the front, R for the rear, and they're 30 over, but they're actually 30 over 80-inch shovel head pistons, and I'll explain that later. So I'm going to start to try and get this thing taken apart. So let's see here. The first thing I'm going to try and do is get the pistons off the rods. Now, some of you may, I hope you can see this, some of you may have seen these type of wrist pin keepers, but they aren't the easiest to take out. Oh, let's see. Almost. There it's coming. Now I call these spiral lock wrist pin keepers. Later on they used a standard internal snap ring, but I never liked using them because I've seen them fail on Harleys. These are, I've never seen these fail. Let's see if we can get the other one out. Well, we'll get that one out. First we'll tip it back up again. There. I have the wrist pin pusher. Okay, this is actually a Triumph tool, but it works for anything. I'm going to take the there we go. There's one piston off. Now, let's see if we can get the other keeper off. And where's the end? Try. We're going to try the other side. There, that went good. There. And we got the pistons off the rods. Okay, now we're gonna pull the timer out of it. You see the old generator motors have a timer in them. Much more complex than the shovel heads. And that would just have the timer right on the end of the camshaft, the circuit breaker. It's like all, well, like all engineering or manufacturing, they try and make it simpler to cut costs. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it isn't. But anyway, these have a timer on it. And there the timer comes out. And if you'll see here, those might look familiar to some of your older guys. Those are small block Chevy points. Way back in the 70s, when there weren't any aftermarket parts available, and Harley didn't have parts for knuckleheads anymore, the points to fit this were unavailable. So I thought about it, and I adapted a set of small block Chevy points to it. I had to cut it off and drill and tap a hole here and grind down the Allen adjusting screw a little bit to fit under the timer cover. But they work great, and they're the same points that have been in there the whole time I've ever ridden it. And they look pretty corroded. I'll probably actually finally replace them, because, you know, I don't replace a lot of stuff unless it's necessary. Thanks again for watching, and I'm going to try to get more videos every week or two on the progress of this project. So we'll see you later. Bye.